signature See the Story segment, we will talk with Komunitas Historia Indonesia about how histories shaped civilizations.
Hello everyone, welcome to See the Stories. This is the signature segment of the 3 Avenue Show where we get to talk about anything that catches our attention. But, talking about development, I think that Indonesia is now on the fast track to become a developed country because this year's Indonesia is holding the G20 presidency that has helped to push the country to be one of the top 20 global economic power. But as our founding father once said that we must not forget our history. Or in Indonesian, our founding fathers just said, just merah, jangan sekali-sekali melupakan sejarah. And that's why we must not forget our national heroes whose struggles and effort made Indonesia the country it is today. But now, speaking of heroes, whom came to your mind directly when it is, mentioned, heroes, pahlawan?
Heroes.
I would say
Patimura.
I would say Cut Nyak
Cut Nyak.
Just because when we were younger, it's like it's the women hero,
And Kartini, obviously.
And Kartini, of course. And, to appreciate the heroes and learn from them, we must know history. Now, this is why Komunitas Historia Indonesia, which I also follow on Instagram, continues to come up with various fun ways to get people interested in history. Komunitas Historia Indonesia, or KHI for short, is an independent non-profit organization and social movement that aims to build awareness of Indonesian nationalism through history, culture, and tourism education. Asep Kambali founded the movement in Jakarta on March the 22nd, 2003. Quite a long time ago, like 19 years ago?
I think so. And you know what? Today we get a chance to talk to Asep Kambali, Kang Asep. And we're going to talk about Komunitas Historia Indonesia. So you've mentioned that you follow the community, right?
I do.
So do you want to take over the interview?
Not really.
Do you really need us here?
Do not get me carried away.
I think it's our chance, to ask him about history.
Please do.
So that we can be as smart as him.
Yes,
when
that's
it comes
right.
to history. All right, let's greet him. Hi, Kang Asep. Oh, there he is.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good evening, Kang Asep. I believe we've met a few years ago.
Sorry.
Really?
We've met a few years ago, but not regarding history, but Persatuan Asep Indonesia or something like that.
Dunia.
Dunia,
Asep Dunia. Wow.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Just to get you into context, Asep is actually a very common name in Indonesia.
That's right. Especially for Sundanese, right?
Yeah, for Sundanese.
Okay, but today we won't be talking about that. We're going to talk about your community. So my first question would be, how did Komunitas Historia Indonesia come to be?
Yeah, when I study in history education in Jakarta State University, which most of them graduated from that university will be a teacher. So I realized that history is very important for our young generation. But unfortunately, the facts are many young generation don't like history because they think history is bored. That is why I established Komunitas Historia Indonesia, or people known as a KHI, in March 22, 2002, to change people's paradigm about history itself. History can learn with interesting and fun activity. And I think we also need all of you guys to support us to follow our social media.
I'm actually one of your followers, but in that sense, since 2002, correct me if I'm wrong, so that must have been like 20 years ago. How many members have you got up to this point?
Until now we have 27,000 members around the world.
No, 27,000.
Yeah.
How did you find the members? Is it also going through the social media or gatherings or some sort of things?
Yeah, because we established our community in 2002, so we start to distribute and promote our flyer event in many places, such as information board or wall magazine in university, school, and bus shelters. There is no social media in that time. Many people interested in our event and join with the event. After that, they become our member. Yeah, at the time for massive communication, we use mailing list in Yahoo groups.
Wow.
Nowadays, we use a website and WhatsApp groups, and then more than thousands members. We use Telegram, and also now we develop application in iOS and Play Store. Many regular activities organized by KHI were attended by hundreds of and even thousands of members. Yeah.
Nice.
So we have 80% members in Jakarta, Bogor, Tangerang, Bekasi. Yeah, five persons in around the world.
I see.
Now, Kang Asep, you said earlier that you think that younger generation, they don't like history. To be honest, when I was younger, history was not my favorite subject in class in school. But now we want to know, how does this community help people to learn and value history?
Yeah, we believe when I was starting my community, I got the quotes, yeah. We learn from history for living the present and building the future. We take lesson learned from the past. We take the good one and leave the bad one.
I see.
The principal elements of KHI activities are recreation, empirical method, education, cognitive, affective, and conative, and entertainment. So these three elements are inherent and contained in various KHI program. Learning history with KHI, not bored and always fun. Believe me.
Right. Now, before this interview, our friend here, Hans, mentioned about Bung Karno's quote, which is "Jas merah. Jangan sekali-sekali melupakan sejarah. We must not forget history." Now, could you please elaborate and explain to us how can appreciating history benefits one's life? What's the benefit that we will get by doing so?
Yeah, actually, there are so many benefits from learning history. History has many values and function. We believe that history is a guide as well as an order for us today, so that our lives today remain focused by the vision or mission from our founders. In personal life, history is a guidance for our life. At least we could avoid a mistake and our goals could achieve. In the life of the nation and state, history is a guidance to build nationalism and also to protect our nation. We believe for that.
Okay, so Kang Asep, it is very interesting to me because I'm so into history.
We're the opposite here.
Of course, we're very, very far opposite with me and Yanni and stuff like that. But from what I've experienced and also what I've read, history, because we did not experience it ourselves, so it is debatable. How is it the Komunitas Historia Indonesia could actually convey the right message and also the right version of history? Do you actually really find or did your diligence on the history that you actually share with your communities and also with the public?
Honestly, we are a pioneer in historical walking tour, so such as Wisata Kota Tua Jakarta. We starting in 2002, and with the regular program starting in 2003. Jakarta Old Town Walking Tour. So we have we as a pioneer in that program. And also we have Jelajah Kampung Bersejarah or Historical Village Exploration. So this is same, but Jakarta Old Town starting in Jakarta Old Town, Batavia, Kota Tua. These programs actually part of Indonesian heritage trails. Indonesia Heritage Trail, the big program. So we have also in Tangerang Heritage Trail, in Cirebon Heritage Trail, Cianjur Heritage Trail, many heritage trail in Indonesia. This is the affiliate program with the Singapore Heritage Trail. So we have a network with the other country. We also has Historia Amazing Race, and with the favorite event is sleepover at the museum. We
that's scary.
Sleepover at the museum.
I could be Adam Sandler.
We also selection of Indonesian museum ambassadors for the next years, training and workshop, historical entrepreneurship studies, and many more. So we have many program with funds.
I see. Well, now, in 2022, social medias are very big, important part of our life. So how important are social media campaigns to your community, in your opinion?
I think it's a very important nowadays. We using social media. KHI is a very dependent on the role and function of the social media. Without social media, maybe KHI will sing. Synergizing and collaborating with the other parties is a key. We believe that we collaborating with the various related communities, content creators, brand, companies, ministries, or institution, and of course also with the media, like we do now with the See Today. So I thank you so much for the See Today, for the support to our community.
The pleasure is ours.
The pleasure is ours, always.
We just finished talking about social media, and we know that Generation Z, Gen Z, and millennials are, very tech savvy, very into social media. Have you succeeded in reaching them into loving history more? How do you see their appreciation towards history nowadays?
Honestly, today we are dealing with the generation that left history. So we have to use social media a lot, like make some content in social media very short, like 30 seconds. We use TikTok or Reels in Instagram. And however, it's a big problem. It's a big problem that we could not handle with ourselves. We have handled some of them, but we are not able to work alone. So we have to work together to solve it. We need an adequate historical education ecosystem. For example, through school or university, NGO, or many movement in many communities. It's also said that history subject is decreasing, even missing. History education policies are also getting less attention, tend to be eliminated. So we cannot 100% blame to our youth, because the government our policy is not pro to the field of the history and culture. So we need many support, many attention for from the government, from many sector. Historical content on social media also are also limited. So we are fighting for it. So we have to create many content in social media also.
Okay, so Kang Asep, probably this is also the last one from me, not from the others, but as in the era of social media, everyone can actually say anything. Anyone can actually write everything. Also with history, lots of people have their own perceptions, and it creates some sort of controversy for some item of histories. Does your community, KHI, also plays in any part of, getting the history right or giving the right educations? Because when it comes to history, not only from the past, as in from the colonial era, but also from the later era, from, let's say, from the New Order era, let's say, or before that, during our proclamations era. Do you actually take part on getting that controversy right?
Yeah, actually, history is to many complexity in our history. So, of course, the controversy. So, in our community, we fight for how to make history with the transparency, and then, of course, we make history like a simple simple subject, not like the problematic subject. So the concept with the we believe we build in our community, make like history is very simple, history is fun, history also history is more than you think itu. Like I believe that history many controversy, but when I start to teach many students in my school, in my university, my student, so I give many perspective, not only one. So this is one version. This is the second. This is the second. This is the version.
I
so
see.
all of you guys has to study all of them. So the version about the history, it's so many. So we have to we don't to believe in one reference, but we have to elaborate, to interpret it about the all of the version. So we don't fight with we don't discuss about the controversy, but we have to find the
alternative
the
version.
one authentic or one approach with the truth of the story.
I see. Interesting.
All right, now Kang Asep, okay, last one from me. Still want to make history fun for you. So what fun ways, can you tell us what fun ways to learn history that your community have developed?
Yeah, we have a lot of programs also in next years, in 2023. We will hold many events. Actually, in 2023, our community will be 20 years anniversary. So we will
congratulations.
We will celebrate for the 20 years our community anniversary, and also this year and next year we will hold a sleepover at the National Police Museum. And in the Museum of the Asian African Conference, where young people from Asia and Africa will be participate.
Wow.
By that event, we will hold a historical conference, flashlight expedition, movie screening, gala dinner, and more fun activity.
Nice.
By
That
this year,
sounds
we
fun.
will also. By this year, we will also join Metaverse at Nusa Meta, so we cannot waiting for that. Yeah, we wish our dream come true in next year.
Wow.
Very huge.
With many programs.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Are you interested, Yanni?
Sure.
Yeah, that's me in the video.
I am, but you know what? I'm not a fan of the darkness and the spooky vibe of museums. You know, do you have any tips for that to close our discussion today? Any tips?
Yeah, Indonesia has a lot dark tourism.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we can find in many cities, in many corner in our cities. So just join our community, follow our social media. So we will give you different experience, the different experience and fun activities for learning history. So we'll get value, and also we will love our nation by learning history.
So maybe just to get it straight, it's just not dark tourism, but dark museums.
Dark museums.
Dark
yeah.
museums. Okay, thank you so much, Kang Asep, for your time, and also we hope all generations always appreciate your history, our history, and make bigger changes to Indonesia in the future. Thank you so much.
I mean,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He is involved in not just one communities, but I think a few.
Oh, really? Yeah. Historia Indonesia,
Persatuan
Asep Sedunia.
Yeah. Well, he was the president, I think, when I interviewed him a few years ago. Anyways, see, the stories will continue after the break, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us.